Okay, once again, a very warm welcome to everyone for joining us this afternoon for this session, this Smart Kaki Kopi Talk series on saving lives with the MyResponder app. Now, this Smart Kaki Kopi Talk series is meant to bring tech topics, all right, tech concepts in a way that is easy for our seniors, our active agers to understand. And today, we are not only going to talk about this app called the MyResponder app, but we are also going to explore what is the technology behind the MyResponder app that makes it so useful, so critical in providing help to people who need quick and fast medical response. All right. So today's session is brought to you by the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office as part of our hashtag Smart Nation Together online program, where during this COVID-19 period, we know that many people are in a way stuck at home and with the reduction of social activities. So with hashtag Smart Nation Together, we want to reach out to you, we want to engage you, right in your home and bring technology topics and the use of mobile apps to you so that you can stay engaged and at the same time you can learn something on your weekday afternoons, all right? We are supported, this session is also supported by NTUC ULIV community. We are thankful for our partners from NTUC. And also today's session is brought to you by our Smart Nation Ambassador, Vishal, which you will be able to see him on your screen. And he's from VMware. And so without further ado, Vishal, I hand this time over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone who are joining the session. And today's topic is we are going to look into how to save lives with MyResponder app. And let me start. This will stop other screen sharing. Was it sharing? Okay, let me do that. No problem. Screen one, share. Can you just quickly confirm you're able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yep, perfect. All right, so let me just get started. So Save a Life initiative, if you look at some statistic from out of hospital cardiac arrest data which was collected in 2011 to 2016, there were more than 2,500 out of hospital cardiac arrest cases in 2016 itself, and of which almost only 6.5 survived. It means out of 2,500, only 163 people survived that heart attack. For every minute without the CPR intervention, the chances of survival drop by 7 to 10% for the victim. The bystander, as a bystander, if you're there, happen to be there, and if the CPR is done, it shows to double the chances of survival of the cardiac arrest victims. So SCDF has actually launched this program called Save a Life Initiative. And what is this Save a Life Initiative? This is a community effort to increase the survival rates of cardiac arrest, which I think is an excellent initiative, and we'll see how SCDF is actually doing this. So how is it done? There's a three-pronged approach. The part of the approach is, the first part is the hardware part, then the second is the hardware part, and the third one is the software part. And I will go through all these three different parts of it, this three-pronged approach in a while. So let's start with the hardware part. The hardware refers here to the installation of the AED. And if you're interested in the long form of the AED, it's an automated external defibrillator. The hardware refers to the application, actually, that's the AED part. Then the hardware, which is the second part, it refers to the application of D.A.R.E concept. And I'll explain what is that D.A.R.E concept when we go into details of it. And the third part, which is the software part, which is the MyResponder app. And we'll go through each of these components in the following slides. So firstly, let's go to the hardware part. one of the ways to enhance the community first response towards the cardiac arrest cases occurring in the residential heartlands is to equip the community with the more publicly accessible AEDs, the automated external defibrillators. As such, the SCDF worked with a PA to install one AED every two existing HDB blocks island-wide. This actually island-wide installation was completed in February 2019. So one of the questions that comes, what happens to the new blocks, like new HDB BTOs? For those new HDB BTOs, the installation of the AEDs will be done once the police cameras are operational. And there is a reason for it, which I'll explain in a while. The photos, if you see on this picture, you see this shows the possible location of the AED at the lift lobby. Ideally, the AED should be installed at the location where the residents will have a least chance of knocking into it while going out or in the lift. Also, AED must be under the coverage of the police camera. This is to deter any theft or vandalism. There's also, you see on the this signage, the AED, just to make sure that 3D signage is to inform the residents that there is an AED available nearby. Here you see example of directional signages and the AED signages that are put up to inform the residents of the AED nearby them. You can see, for example, it just mentions you, it is near this block, or even from the outside, prominent AED signage is displayed to assist people to understand where it is located. We'll see an example. Using a Kagi constituency as an example, this slide shows you how the mapping of one AED in every two HDB block looks like. So this is a map, and if you zoom down into that map, you actually see that every two blocks, you have one AED. So it is planned in such a way that at least one AED is available per two blocks. This basically wraps up the hardware component of Save a Life initiative. Let me move into the next initiative, which is the hardware, right? The application of D.A.R.E concept. So some fact about out of hospital cardiac arrest cases. The survival rate of the witnessed out of hospital cardiac arrest in Singapore is about 23%. So whenever there's a witness who is there to assist them, there's a survival rate of 23%. Chances of survival increases by 2 times or more with the early CPR and defibrillation. And the important thing to note is that the CPR, if not started within the initial 4 to 6 minutes, there are chances of brain damage to set in. So that the time is an essential component of this. It's a very critical factor. So that's why this D.A.R.E concept has been introduced. And what is that concept? When a cardiac arrest incident occurs at the HDB block, just having that AED installed at the lift lobby is not good enough, because somebody has to know how to operate it, and before operated, somebody has to retrieve it and bring it near to the victim. This is why we need as many residents to be trained in the CPR AED skills as possible, so that these trained residents can, assist to perform the CPR and utilize the AED on this cardiac arrest victim prior to the arrival of the SCDF emergency responders. So that's why this initiative was launched. As such, the SCDF actually worked with the Ministry of Health on this initiative to simplify the full day CPR AED courses into an easily understood 1 hour hands-on program, which is suitable for all ages. This would make the CPR knowledge more accessible and increase the uptake. This program is known as a Dispatcher Assisted First Responder Program, or a D.A.R.E program, and it is conducted by the Unit of Pre-Hospital Emergency Care under MOH. So that's the D.A.R.E part. And what happens in this program is, under this D.A.R.E program, the participants learn to dial 995, stay on the line with the medical dispatcher, perform the CPR as directed, and use an AED with the voice prompts to help the victim's heart restart beating. The guidance is provided throughout the resuscitation process, similar to the one might experience in the real emergency. So that is the D.A.R.E part. then I think one of the common question even I had, and I think many people have as well, is actually if I'm not trained in this, let's say CPR or how to do AED, will I really cause more harm than actually helping? And the answer to this question is, if you think, if you really think, our advice is that the person who is in a cardiac arrest is actually clinically dead. Performing the CPR on the victim cannot worsen this condition. In fact, it can help the victim. Also, while second concern is what happens if I press too hard and the ribs of the person get broken. Uh, while ribs may get broken during the CPR, there's a possibility. It is better than dying from not being helped. So I think here the risk outweighs the benefits. So some also asked if there would be if they need to do the mouth-to-mouth breathing, which is again a common question. While it would be preferable if the responder is trained, confident, and willing to do so, but there is nothing wrong. But if, let's say, otherwise, if the responder is not willing to do this, that's also possible. Follow dispatcher's instruction. You can just follow the dispatcher's instruction to perform the hands-only CPR. So even that would help in saving a life. So the third part, which is the main, I think, the discussion point today, and there are two main aspects of it, is the software part, which is the MyResponder app. One aspect is, of course, how to use the app and how to get used to it. And the second part is about the technology behind it. And I'll be covering those two parts. So what is this MyResponder application? Let's move into that. So MyResponder application is launched in April 2015. It's a joint collaboration between the SCDF and the GovTech under the Smart Nation program. The MyResponder app was designed to tap on GPS technology to notify the community first responder of potential cardiac arrest cases within 400-meter radius of their location. The user can then choose to respond to the cases and help by performing CPR or by retrieving the nearest AED and using it on the victim. So let's move into the next part of what exactly are the details of this application. So MyResponder app can help to improve the survival rate of cardiac arrest victims through early notification to SCDF 995 call center to the mobile phone geolocation. And of course, that is provided that you have the your GPS function or the location function in your mobile turned on. The early CPR by trained community first responder, which are abbreviated as CFRs, who respond to the MyResponder app alert, and the early defibrillation with the publicly accessible AEDs. So these are three main ways of how we can improve the survival rate of cardiac arrest victims. Early notification, early CPR, early defibrillation. And as I mentioned, as you saw in the video, the second aspect is fire module. Since 2018, the MyResponder app also had been enhanced to alert the MyResponders to the minor rubbish fires as well. Similar to the medical module, the MyResponder fire module will notify the CFRs of the minor rubbish fire cases within 400-meter radius of their location. The user can then choose to respond to the case and put out the fire by using the extinguishing mediums such as containers of water or a fire extinguisher. If the fire is too big to put out by the CFR, then the ops centers will dispatch our appliances accordingly. There is also a camera function which saw in the video. You can always take a picture and you can submit those photos and videos when you cited the fire cases, as well as for the fire safety feedbacks. So these are the two main modules. So what are the application features on this application? You can basically call for 995 through the application, and your geolocation will be sent to SCDF automatically. You also get notification of a cardiac arrest victims or the minor fire cases nearby you, and I will show you where you see all these things. And you can also enable the user to provide photos, videos or of the major incidences using the camera function. And also it shows you the nearest publicly accessible AED. I'm going to run through quickly for the next slides as how to download the application and how to register it. But don't worry too much. There's a lot of information, a lot of screenshots here. But I think what I will do is, after I have gone through all these slides, I will show you how you can install this application on your mobile by showing how I will do it on my mobile so that you will be able to follow that easy. Okay. Moving next. So these are, I think, stepwise guide in terms of download and installs. First, you have to, let's say if you're an iPhone or an Android phone, you can go to App Store or Play Store. And this is the example of the screenshot on Android phone. You can install the application. Then you can, as a second step, you can open the application. Then it will request for the permissions to make phone calls, which you should allow so that you can then dial 995. And step 4 would be to sign up. From the sign up point of view, you have two options. As you get into sign up, I think before sign up, it will also ask you about a declaration. There's a terms and condition that you are 18 years above and so on and so forth. So we agree to that step. And then in the step number 6, it will ask you to register either through SMS OTP or through SyncPass. So I tried with my SyncPass. I got this error. I just put that. You might get it. But nevertheless, if you can't do it with the SyncPass, you can still use the SMS, which I have done. And this is the screenshot. You can just put in your mobile number, your NRIC or PIN number. NRIC, not PIN number anyway. So the numbers and the NRIC, and then you can verify, and then you will get a verification SMS from the to verify this app, and then you can key in that SMS, and it allows you to then log in, sign up. And the next step is, once you now open the application, it will ask you permission to allow to record pictures or videos. You should click allow because this will allow you to take any photos and submit in future. Also, it will ask you about device location. So there are 3 options here. The question is, allow MyResponder to access the device location. Device location is extremely important for the simple reason that we want to have a faster response time within near to the victim. And that's why whoever is near to that vicinity of that incident, it is important to locate them. And that's why this location is very important part of it. So I have chosen allow all the time, because then that will allow my application to access my location all the time, and MyResponder app will be alert all the time so that I can get the notification whenever there is a distress incident. And the next is, it will also allow you to ask whether you can give a permission to save the photos, media files to the device. You allow that as well. And then it will guide into an emergency guideline in terms of the newest or the latest guideline that are available for download. You can either choose to download now and read through it, or you can do it later. And then it will basically show you a quick guide about different screen, different buttons, what each function is capable of, and what exactly it does. So moving to the next part, how we use this app. After you open the app, this dashboard you'll see the one you see on this left-hand side. The top left, you also see a top left-hand side a bell icon, which gives you all the announcements. What is the latest announcement in your area? Then the top right actually will give you this allows you to access your settings. So when you click it, there will be different options of setting. The bottom row icons, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, I should be here. The first one is actually the home page. So it brings you back to the home page of this application. The second button is, it allows you to view your existing case details. So whatever your existing case details or where you have help, then it can show you those details. Second, then the third one is about the emergency call. So if you found a victim and then you happen to be there, then you can immediately call 995 as you have saw in the video. Then you can take photos or videos and submit them. And then the next one is find nearby AEDs. So you could be one of those responders who are near 400-meter vicinity of the victim. And if you get this call or this bell icon or notification that there is a emergency nearby, then you can actually help by finding the nearest AED and then bringing it to the victim. How to turn on this notifications? So you have to click on this the 3-line item on the right hand side, which is circle in red. You click on that, and from the drop down menu, what we need to do is tap on this notification part. And once that notification, select whether you want to receive this. Sorry, I just jumped the slide. Oops. Okay. And then select when you want to receive this notification for the medical cases of fire. So I will show you what exactly those notifications would be. And then that's how the notification will be turned on. So the second part, which I think is very interesting as well, and a lot of seniors would be interested to understand that how this application is able to pinpoint within the 400-meter areas, or how is able to pinpoint the location of a victim or the nearby helpers or CFRs, right? So I will give you a brief summary of the technology behind it. The technology behind is a GPS, which is the Global Positioning System. So GPS is basically a mechanism of satellites. There are 28 satellites orbiting the Earth in a geostationary fashion. They are already deployed. And what your GPS receiver does is it actually receives the signal. It doesn't really have to send any data back to satellite. It just receives the signal. And once you have 4 satellites within the vicinity of, or the visibility of the receiver, then the receiver would be able to accurately pinpoint the location where the user is. So that's a broader GPS receiver. And you see all these GPS receivers probably in the cars, or different transport systems, where you have this GPS which are running on the road, and they can actually have a clear sky, or they have the visibility to the sky, and they, from there, basically they get the signal from the satellite. But obviously, and many times, as you know, that we are staying at home indoors, then obviously you don't have a visibility to all the satellites. Then what happens is, there is another way of pinpointing your location using a technology called as assisted GPS, which is assisted global positioning system. And in this assisted global positioning system, what it does is actually you are always connected to the different cell towers. The cell towers is basically the signal. If you're a Singtel M1 or a StarHub customer, or for that matter, any other telco, you will see those 3 bars on your mobile. There, the signal is there. So generally what happens is all these different cell sites are transmitting the signals everywhere. And you could happen to be at any location where wherever you could be, the signal could be triangulated. At any point, the mobile is getting the signal from 3 different cell towers. And those 3 different cell towers helps you to triangulate your geolocation, and that is something is utilized by all the phones as well. So they do utilize the GPS as well as assisted GPS technologies. So this is the technology behind it in terms of identifying your location, where you're located. But just to clarify, it can identify your lateral location, not like which level are you, or for example, if you're in a building or a block, HDB block, then it can't identify which level are you in. It can identify you are in block, example, I live in block 360, then it can tell me that I'm in 360, but it doesn't point out at which level is. Am I level 1 or level 12? That it can't point out. But even in that case, this turning on this location gives you a pretty good accuracy in terms of where the user is located, or the victim or the responder could be. And this is the underlying technology that is used by MyResponder app as well, to create that logic behind sending out the messages to the responders within the 400-meter area, so that they can respond faster. and they can help the victim when it's most needed. So these are some success stories, which are many now. I think these are some cutouts from 2017, if I'm not wrong. For example, this one article you see on the left, where uh, basically she was very first responder app survivor case in January 2016, where Miss Michelle Lim, the person you see in the photo, she's a lecturer from the Institute of Health Sciences, responded to the notification from the MyResponder app while she was having breakfast. So, and the article on the uh, left basically features on the right, from my right, features Mr. Edwin Huang, a business analyst who stepped forward and performed a CPR on the cardiac arrest victim, even though he did not know the procedure. He was guided over the phone by the SCDF Ops Center personnel. And of course, I think there are many more such incidences, such inspiration stories around. I think just to reiterate that in case of cardiac arrest, the timing is the most essential part. So even if you know CPR, you know AED, or you don't know CPR, how to do it, or you don't know how to do AED, you can still help. And as I mentioned earlier, you are not going to harm the victim anymore. It is actually whatever the help, just being there and trying to, if you can dial out 995 and get the right persons called out and then get on the phone and help to follow the instruction, that would save a life. And with that, I think that's what we wanted to show. And I think with that, we can jump into how to use this application, download it. Is that okay? If everybody, I don't know whether you have installed this application, but let me stop sharing the screen here and I will start sharing my mobile phone. I think everyone can see my mobile phone, I believe, screen. And I have an Android phone, so I'm going to search for MyResponder app. So what I'm going to do now is whatever the steps you saw earlier on the slides, I'm going to just demonstrate them slowly so that you would be able to follow. And if you want to do it with me, that is also fine. So you can go to MyResponder, and I found this application and I'm going to ask it to install. So it is waiting for downloading. Now it is downloaded. So once it is downloaded, I'm going to click open. And as I said, it asks me a permission, allow the MyResponder app to make and manage the phone calls. I would allow it to do so because I think it's important. Then sign up. Once you sign up, it will give you the details about advisory, then the declaration. And advisory is basically acknowledging that the following advices on the safe participation, the general guidelines here. The declaration as well, that you are above 18 years, and you can click I agree to this. And then you have two options. For some reason, my SyncPass did not work. Whenever I click, I always got this error. Let's try if it is working today. Let me just choose SyncPass and tap my application. Yeah. So I think this is the error I'm getting, but if you're getting the same, no problem. You can still just do I agree, and then you can just do SMS OTP. So I'm going to put my number, and it is going to wait for verify password. So I should be receiving a password. Let me see, my mobile is on. Perfect. Because my, okay, do not disturb is on. Let me just wait. Okay, I received the message, which is here. So I got the passcode 36254. So I can key in the passcode, then I logged in. And then it allows me, ask me to allow to take pictures and photo. I will allow it to do so. And this is an important step. Here, it asks you to allow access to the device location. So you have three options. If you deny, then obviously this app will not function in the sense it doesn't serve the purpose, because if you're not giving a location, then neither you would be able to respond in time. Uh, so I think I would recommend you allow all the time so that you are across all this notification or any distress signal that you see. Also, you see allow MyResponder to access photos, media, files on your device. You allow that. And as I said here, you'll see that you want to see the emergency guideline, the latest you want to download later. I think you can put a download or later. I'll just choose later for now. And then the app guides you about a quick overview, a quick guide in terms of what are the different buttons and what do they do. So on this left hand, it's a show announcement button. You can see, we'll start from the left to right. So show announcement on the top left. On the right, you see the open menu, which kind of gets you to the setting. On the left side, the bottom part of the screen, you see the home, then your existing views, existing case details, emergency calls, take photos or videos, and then find nearby AEDs. So if you just click it, it all goes, and you can just see that announcement. There's nothing really right now. On the setting part, I can go to the notification part, and I can basically alert. For example, if I don't want for fire use cases or uh, medical uses, I can turn on and off, but this is basically meant for two use cases, so I have turned this on. And I have also added the my location, my subscriber location. Either I can turn it off, and you can see more details about it basically gives me, if I enable this location, it gives me within the 400-meter radius. If there is a, uh, it basically alerts me within that location area. So that's for the notification part. And when you click back, it brings you to the home screen. This is a dashboard. This dashboard kind of gives you the details about how many people have registered. There are around 82,000 plus people. How many responses to the cases, then cases in September itself. And there are two icons. One is related to cardiac arrest, and it just gives you a small dashboard, shows you different statistics. And the other is for the fire incidences. And this map basically kind of locates where things are. So anyway, I'm here in this location right now. So if you find anyone in distress, you happen to walk by and you see them, then you can, click this, and it basically will allow you to, it will ask you whether you want to call 995. Your location will be sent to better facilitate the rescue, and you can press a call, which I'm not going to do now, but you can just press it, and then you would be able to report that incident. At the same time, if you see any fire, for example, if you have seen a fire case, then you can click here, and it will ask you whether you want to record an audio or a video. If let's say I say allow, then it gives me, it basically asks me what is happening, and it says that please call 915 if you are reporting an incident. In this case, I'm not going to do it, so I'm just going to go back. But that's how basically you will use this application. So this is basically a pinpointing. This is this particular button it brings you to the location that you have tagged in, as I have shown in the notification part. So that's pretty much the application, the usage of it, and how do you use it.